lots of things to look fondly towards on XG. And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, they do have techies, who is a busted hero. So here we go.
10-man smoke.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kotal will break it. They don't have a lot of nice cash on XG at the moment, at least. Like maybe some blast off, but that's it. That's the best they can do. So better for them not to fight. I feel like LGD is much, much stronger at the moment.
PSG.LGD. You're talking about this ancient apparition, right? Him having a hero in the lane that after a stun can trigger off the cold feet. You know, we've been having a lot of old school duos, dude, because this right here is old school. Ancient apparition, Sven. Guaranteed trigger on the cold feet every time.
Yeah, it's Ancient Apparition and Sven and Ancient Apparition and the Raid King, right? That are kind of...
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to get denied. Yeah, nice one by Why You Smile.
Okay.
He knew what's up. Understood his ward has been spotted. Alchemist, meanwhile, Ghost.
In a little bit of danger here, but he's just getting zoned away from the bounty. Okay, I'm glad that they did that because it makes it 2-2. Otherwise, XG would have been very close to just winning the game automatically. But thankfully, that's not what happens.
You need to get the first blood as well. It's not...
Yeah, so I'm saying they're close. If they got the first blood after the first 3, then it's like, oh, well.
Okay. I see. Yeah, makes sense. But they do take away 2 tangos from him. He enters the lane kind of poor. In region, that is.
I hope you're not attached to yours, my friend. You're going to have to give them over. And they're actually going to try and make a move top lane. The first unstable concoction, triggered out, but Ghost, okay, maybe you're just a little bit jittery. Wanted to make sure you got a feel for throwing it out.
Just testing it. Seeing if it still works the same way it worked before. Maybe a patch happened between the games, you never know.
Don't joke, that stuff has happened before.
Yeah, he's eating a lot of damage on the top lane. At least he brought some tangos to himself, so that's nice, but I feel like he's not going to have a fun lane. Even though this lane should have been quite decent for them, like Alchemist and Techies are strong, I feel the amount of hurt they did to him before the lane started really changed things.
Dota 2, a game of margins. Right now, XG not feeling very happy about the margin they're experiencing in the top lane. We had a quick glimpse of middle with the Magnus and the Void Spirit. Funnily enough, you know, we've actually just had this lane, just not as it was expected. So from the mid, should the Magnus be doing... Should we just be having an even affair here? I can't imagine either side having a drastic advantage.
Well, with Magnus, you're going to be able to hit quite hard singles for Void Spirit. Maybe a bit harder as Magnus, so he has a small advantage, I would put it that way. Just, after all, it is a universal on universal matchup. Both of them hit hard.
2 minutes in and Void Spirit has 72 damage.
It's crazy, you know, like for on the mid lane, I guess it's noticeable, but it's not that bad. For me, where it's really noticeable is when you're some 5 without armor and you're trading hits with something like a Dark Willow. That hurts. Like that's actually where it really got to me, where I understood what the huge difference it was. Because like there's a lot of players like me that play on feeling. They don't really play on numbers. Like you see the numbers, but you kind of feel it. You know what the damage is going to be like, right?
Yeah.
You know what to expect, more or less. And then I know what to expect from Dark Willow, then she hits me for half of my HP. What the hell?
Dota 2 is like 80% intuition, honestly. And feels like it gets more so the higher up the skill ceiling you climb, or the skill leaderboard. Skill ladder, leaderboard? I don't know.
Ladder,
whatever the surface is, probably the ladder makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Once you scale said surface, intuition becomes much more important than just a rote reading of numbers. Also, I love when this happens. You know, the first 2 games that we saw today between LGD and XG, you know, there was lots of fights, very interesting pool dynamics, you know, early skirmishes. You can tell we've gotten to a game 3 with its own internal meta. once the temperature goes like frigid, we're like ice cold right now. Nobody wants to be the first one to make a move, lest you also be the first one to make a mistake.
Yeah, but like you said, DY actually, jumps in, gets blasted off into New.
Might kill him actually, but New will not be able to catch up to him as the unstable concoction is there. Planet couldn't channel the Illuminate long enough, so DY will end up living.
Yeah, that's what you get for having a proper carry protecting you as a support. Move straight in with that unstable concoction.
Middle, NCS might actually die himself though, as Resident Pulse cleans him up. Kaka. Nice big movement with the Winter Wyvern, setting up Paparazzi, and they're going to take away both Water Runes as well.
Really well done. Like, it's not a hero that you expect a gank from, right? Like Winter Wyvern, Phoenix, not necessarily your ganking squad, but Ghost on top lane channels the stun. Do they have the damage? Not really.
Sadly, DY wasn't close enough with the blast off. Still though, I think the main thing for Ghost is just to have any kind of reprieve where he can farm without this LC directly in his face.
Yeah, so far the difference between him and the LC is the biggest one in the game. When it comes to last, it's net worth, obviously. Not necessarily, because you're an alchemist, you're still gonna be in front, even with not as many last hits.
He definitely is being outlaned right now by New. That'll pose some problems later on in the game because he wants Alchemist to get off to the races. The one bright spot is that at the very least the enemy carry isn't farming crazily either. Like Shiro, just doing okay so far in this opening part of the game. Just chilling. Just trying to get to the power trees ASAP.
Blast off top again, they go on New.
They're gonna try this time around, and do they have what it takes? They do, but DY is certainly gonna end up dying for this, right? Planet, one more right click, and should find the kill. They also brought in Why Smile through the Twin Gate to ensure it's not only DY who dies, but also Ghost.
Shiro though, bottom lane, he should be pressured because of that, right?
Let's see if they can kill him while they know he's all alone, and indeed they do. JT not playing support this game, so already has access to the second point of Firefly, and they just run down the Sven. So cores dying all across the wazoo, but in general, I think XG will overall be happy with what just happened.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a similar situation, by the way. You were talking about Alchemist being pressured, Sven is being pressured as well, but it's a similar thing. Both of these carries like to be in front. They want to be farming, they want to be having a good early game. Who doesn't, but yeah. What's similar about two of them is both of them can recover really well with some stacking happening here and there, so maybe that's something that the supports should be doing, or will do.
Speaking of supports, Why Smile has made his presence known to the top side of the map again. So they're potentially thinking about going on to Ghost, but this time around, he has full HP, some power trades. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Why Smile even gonna go home? You're like, yeah, this is just a waste of time.
Yeah, Planet taking the Wisdom Rune, while Smile going back bottom. They're doing really well when it comes to levels. Like, look at that AA. He's 5.5 already, like 7 minutes in. Planet as well, level 5. Really well done by them when it comes to finding the experience. Why Smile might die though.
Only if JT can catch him. JT finally gets the vision out, but the Stormhammer catches him before he catches the AA. Why Smile is still alive. The first RP of the game committed, as Cold Embrace will buy some additional time. Unfortunately, though, he has to be aware that his life is forfeit as JT gets taken down by Shiro.
Yeah, when they went on him, I was like, yeah, they got this. It's just a puny AA. When I click combat, he doesn't have Firefly. Okay, I guess. That's turned from a really good dive into a free pick-off for the Sven.
It's almost gonna start building into the Mask of Madness now. It's gonna accelerate his timings across the game. Mid lane, DY thought about going on at the blast off. Paparazzi was nearby with a double damage rune bottled up. And they might want to use this still. I think you still try and pursue a fight somewhere. And they had some vision bottom, which scouted Shiro farming. They're coming for him, and Why Smile just left the area. He's all alone. He might be dead. JT comes in with the Firefly. Shiro, dude, no way. Shiro. This is not allowed, bro. Game in, game out. This man just can't be caught.
Yeah, every single game. Meanwhile, Ghost on the other side, he gets caught, and that's Ancient Apparition using his first ulti.
Yep. First ultimate for New as well. Gave him some dual damage. Will get punished by Paparazzi. But if you're forcing him to just respond and punish you instead of being on the front foot and killing your carry, you're still okay with giving up your life.
Absolutely. Killing off the Alchemist, meanwhile Sven waits, dodges that gank, continues farming. You're really happy if you're in LGD shoes right now. They're also making a lot of stacks. Smile has been doing so much work, by the way. This Ancient, not only is he the one killing off Alchemist, they can kill him again in 15 seconds. It's that he blocked the hard camp in the enemy triangle too. So, made sure that they're not getting a lot of stacks for Alchemist as well.
What a boss this guy is. Like you say, he does have access to the 6. And unfortunately, though, I don't think they'll get to use it in tandem with the LC, because the LC is going to get killed off here. They're coming into water. She is very far forward, and as a result, will be very, very dead. Kill will get credited towards Ghost.
Are they gonna steal some stacks? Is that the plan? I feel like it is. Not yeah, straight into hitting them. Maybe Ancients too.
Dude, if they get all of this, this is so big.
I feel like Ancients are too slow, yeah.
Get the hard cap at least. And their own side of the map is fairly protected. Alchemist doesn't have access to the Rads just yet. So they won't be able to take their Ancients either. Looks like we'll just end up trading on hard camps instead. Okay.
I love how the meta has changed when it comes to these rotations, right? Like teams are really putting a lot of effort in contesting the Ancients. JT?
Dead. Woo! Woo! So dead, my friend. Ouch. And that, who? It's kind of funny to think of Keeper of the Light and AA as a kill combination, but they are. Once Ice Blast, there's so many slows, so you can't actually escape them. So Cold Feet always procs. They have knockback. They have so much magic damage. It's crazy.
Look at the sentries, by the way, in the triangles. Where DUI is right now. One sentry there, others still in the hard camp. On the Radiant side, also the same thing. Block the Ancients, block the hard camp. Like they're making sure that these two carries are just not finding farm.
Let's see, DUI found his Dewar's planet. Will he be able to find the same? Hasn't been able to do so just yet, but I don't think he was aware that it was blocked just yet. But he'll know on the next go around. Should be ready. Yet again, a very even affair early on. Everyone is aware of what stakes are present. It's 5 for 5 right now. Barely any gold in it. But this is an Alchemist draft. So sooner rather than later, we are going to be expecting a bigger spike in the overall net worth for the side of XG.
Yep, he's getting that not 200 gold away, and he's got it. Meanwhile, Sven, what are we waiting for on Sven? I'm not even sure. He's got the Mask of Madness and the Quarterstaff. Is he buying a hull?
Oh, Echo. Go Echo,
no, Echo on top of, okay, Echo on top of it.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I was thinking maybe one or the other and you're set, then you can go for Blink BKB. He's going for both. I guess you can use the disassemble later on as well for many different things.
By the way, do you like that mechanic of disassembly?
I usually like it. I feel it's good. But in this patch, it's like way too good. I feel like they're just buying a Vanguard and then disassembling it into Octarine and stuff feels way too strong. Another kill for Legion.
It's another dual kill as well, second one of the game. That'll also open up the space for the tier 1 tower that they should be able to kill off after this glyph. They even got God Strength for this from Shiro.
Yep.
So they are afraid that XG will going to mount a turnaround here. I mean, there's no way you go for Roche from this, so intriguing that they thought the God Strength was necessary.
Gets things done a little bit quicker, maybe. And
actually might fight this. Dude, DY, look at the vision DY has. They're really thinking about it. They even brought Kaka in, but without the jump from the Void Spirit who was walking through the mid lane, they will not be able to find the reach they need. So what do we have on the map that's developing for this Bat Rider in the offlane? Almost got his bots available. At that point, his map presence is a lot higher, and we could see him start to sweep around and make some moves, but we also just got a Blink Dagger for NTS. I would not be surprised if he catches up with Planet and Why You Smile and they try to make something happen with this little teleporting scroll or this little teleporting stick.
Yeah. And this is probably the best example. Him and Earth Spirit, maybe, when it comes to disassembling, right? Like you're a bat, you go Arcane's Vanguard in the lane. I don't know why Vanguard works that well on you, but sure. And Arcanes, then you disassemble them, get an Octarine. You pretty much use every single component of it. Then go Travels. It just feels way too good. Or an Earth Spirit, you go Vanguard, you disassemble it, make yourself a... What's it called? A Vessel, if you're playing it as a core, but at least that hero isn't that popular, so it doesn't really matter that much.
I'm a bit conflicted when I think about disassembly as a mechanic, because I think Dota should have fewer things that uber punish you for making a mistake, because Dota is already an incredibly punishing game. But disassembly just feels too good. Like, you should actually sometimes make the mistake. I bought the wrong item, I messed up, it is what it is. Must spend the right gold, or plan out my build more carefully. I'm fine with locking items, but disassembly right now, like you say, is just way too good. I want to see something change about this. Or at the very least, items like certain items, the components shouldn't be disassemblable components. Like a BKB should be something you're only buying because you need BKB, for example. But right now, no BKBs in tow for anybody.
Yep, but
only an Octarine for the bat.
I don't think you shouldn't be able to disassemble BKB, right? Like, that's not a thing, as much as I'm aware. Unless something has changed, yeah. But you can disassemble stuff to get it.
The components to get it, which is too good.
Yeah.
Mid lane, we're jumping onto NTS. Ice Blast will be there on top of these heroes' faces, but there's still too much damage. RP will come out onto 2 here. Duel will be there onto DY, but I think we still end up with a dead techies. Paparazzi trying to get himself away from this fight. Winter's Curse from Kaka, buying him the space and time, but they still have the damage to kill off this Void Spirit. Lasso now, dragging in New closer towards the tier 1 tower. Will pop the press the attack. Between that and the Pavis, we'll actually be able to stay alive. And now Shiro comes in with the God Strength to clean up Kaka. Ghost not done with this fight just yet. Throws in a stun that catches onto Why You Smile, who very hastily denies a haste rune. And this will lead into a death onto JT as well. Can they catch him? New doesn't have the duel. And Firefly being online ensures that JT survives. And instead, New's the one that's overextended. And will end up dead. Bursted away by Ghost and DY.
I love the
long fight.
Yeah, long fight. Everything was great. Like the RP followed by Ice Blast. You know, it was kind of cool, even though they initiated on Magnus and killed him off first. But the highlight of that fight was Planet sprinting towards the haste rune to take it, and at the same time, Why You Smile, just when he was next to the rune, he denies it. Like, nah, you're not getting it. Did that clip on? Did that Ice Blast? It did clip on everyone. Okay, so 3 heroes got connected on. Also nice that the techies shatters, so New actually gets the dual damage. As he was dealing no damage whatsoever in that Cold Embrace.
Unfortunately, we also have the sad aspect of this fight, at least if you're a fan of Xtreme Gaming, where we get to see Kaka throwing out his first Winter's Curse. It looks so cool, it might have had the save. But Spirit Vessel, good item. Good purchase by Planet to get it so early. And speaking of Planet, can he bail out Why You Smile? He doesn't need to, because there's going to be a Blink duel. New, though, will find himself Winter's Curse, so he can't continue this duel. And there's going to be Ghost throwing in an unstable concoction. It stuns the LC and Planet, but they cannot save GUI, and they have to retreat.
They're still way too careful for the Winter's Curse to have any effect. Like, Kaka even has a Blink Dagger, so he is getting in position to use his ulti very easily, but it's still not that effective. Like, he still can't get it. Get multiple targets at least in it.
If there's ever a team that I know is going to be communicating about positioning in these fights to stay away from the Winter's Curse, it's going to be LGD.
Of course. Like, there's one problem though for them. Like, as this game progresses onwards, they will find farm for sure, but they don't have many ways to easily get on top of Kaka. or to initiate easily. So he should always be able to get the Winter's Curse off. So we'll see how he'll manage to deal with that. So far, it's been good.
Especially gets even easier once you get a Glimmer Cape for him and the squad. Right now, though, they're still just content to let Ghost keep farming. Let this Void Spirit also finish off their Manta style. I think once they finish Manta, we'll probably see them play a bit more aggressively from XG.
I think maybe they're ready already. You have BKB, you have Blink. If you want to find a pick-off, this is perhaps an option for you. It can be punished a little bit easier than it normally is because of the Ancient Apparition, obviously, but still, I think you need to start making moves.
See what's going to happen now as PSG.LGD playing very closely together around the top side of the map. Looking like they could potentially smoke up behind Shiro, take him on an adventure. But New also here closing in on getting the Blade Mail. So both squads sort of mirroring each other. One hero farming mid, the other four on the edges of the map. But let's see. I kind of think that as well, Roshan is obviously going to be huge for this game, but after what's been happening over the series, it kind of feels like no one wants to be in this area.
Poor DY, he wasted so much of his mana planting all these mines around the Twin Gate, and then Rosh just runs through them.
Whoa. Here comes an Ice Blast. It's too early though. It's not going to kill Roshan.
It's
not going to kill any heroes.
It might make them reconsider. Let's see. Looks like not. They still continue fighting this.
They are going to smoke on LGD. And this is not the fastest Roshan in the world, but I'm not sure if it's that slow. And
the thing,
Xtreme, they feel it is. And they actually saw Sven. They thought about maybe jumping Shiro.
Yeah, it's more about just scaring them, right? Like you, Sven.
Shiro. He gets jumped on, dragged into the rest of Xtreme Gaming. They even cliff him for good measure before they kill him off. Paparazzi also broke the smoke from the rest of Xtreme Gaming and is solo zoning them back. New will miss out on the Aether Remnant, but is still in a dangerous place. Kaka finds a wonderful Winter's Curse. It catches out the Ancient Apparition. They kill him off. Unstable Concoction stun onto the Magnus. New is still alive, still fighting around you, hasn't died just yet. Is falling lower and lower and lower and will eventually tumble. In the meantime, RP was used by NCS to try and buy himself more time. Unfortunately, it will not work out. Ice Blast did clip onto the Bat Rider,
he might die,
but it didn't blast, so we'll see if he dies.
No,
let's see. He is fine inside the fountain. Nobody dies from XG. They're still gonna get the Roshan. Disaster for PSG.LGD.
Yeah, very nicely done by Xtreme, even though like the fight itself didn't go well for them. The beginning of Roshan, that is, they got clipped by that Ice Blast. They had to move out, but they made use out of it, right? They jumped the Sven. Like Shiro, usually he's really good when it comes to positioning. This time around, he was a little bit too eager and too fast to show himself in the lane. If he waits a couple of seconds extra, then it doesn't matter because Legion is behind him. And Legion can save him with press the attack, but this way he just gets lassoed, controlled up, and yeah, a huge disaster for them.
Now they must contend with an Aegis in the enemy lineup. A lot more farm for Ghost was picked up in that fight as well. And the crazy thing, the thing that you keep mentioning when you look at these supports, man, the experience. The supports being alive, sure, DY, you know, he's not getting anything, but Kaka is no small threat. This Winter Wyvern hero with experience is something different, man. We've been seeing it lately, and I think we're going to get to see more of it today. If this continues from Kaka, he's going to buy an Aether Lens as well, with Blink and Glimmer Cape. You're just never seeing him in the fight, ever again. I
feel like at this point it's becoming even an overkill. Like he's getting those kills anyway, right? Getting those ultis off anyway. But yeah, Aether Lens feels amazing on Wyvern. Techies gets a shard.
They also have themselves access to some minus armor with that medallion. It means that the Roche that we saw take 10 years will be a lot faster the next time around. And they just have the AC as well. Like the power spike they've experienced right now from XG is a bit extreme, so I want to see them utilize it on the map. So go for a fight, boys. LGD is busy taking a Tormentor. This is a perfect time to catch them off. And indeed, they do smoke. Let's see where this little clown car ends up taking them.
Yeah, I feel like LGD is the team that's happier with just farming at the moment. Even though they're playing versus an Alchemist, Sven farms really, really damn fast too. Looks like they might get
The
jumped
line
on.
was being drawn. Yeah, they have awareness that something's going on here. The rest of LGD actually started to retreat. I think they've accepted that Planet might die, but his body is giving up information. He will indeed be taken out, and they're gonna take a fight here on the Radiant Triangle. I don't know about this one. Shiro jumps on the high ground looking for DY, is able to kill him off with the BKB God Strength. So it's a 1-for-1, but the investment from LGD much higher at this point to make that kill happen.
Yeah, I'm surprised Kaka. He fell asleep at the job this time around. Like he was looking towards the left side of the fight, but not the right. So Techies gets picked off, even though there was Winter's Curse, there was Cold Embrace. Like he could have saved the Techies there. But okay, probably had more important scenarios to think about.
What if Lizard, he hates techies as well and he wants the techies to die? He's like, yes.
I'm not those kind of scenarios, but sure, yeah. He's your fellow techie hater.
There we go. Still though, even though they don't manage to save the techies' life, they still got a tower and they're about to get another one through this mid lane. So they're corralling in the map. Similar plays to what we saw them doing in game 2. And so far, it's been working for them. 8k gold lead. They've been winning most of these engagements. And Sven, still not in the place where he feels uber scary. Sven, I feel like to me, only gets crazy scary once the crits start coming out. And we haven't achieved those just yet. So for now, XG can kind of do what they want. And they'll do what they want by going for new. Oh my goodness, though. RP from NTS.
Oh, damn.
That's actually very unfortunate for JT. JT was a bit too slow to jump. So he had to spend a second or two trying to search for new. And that second or two gives NTS all the space that he needs to find the skewer into the kill.
Yeah, he's a little bit
Nicely
unfortunate, but NTS just way too fast as well with his reactions, so punishes him. Which is nice.
What sucks though is that you can't get anything back from this, right?
Yeah, probably not. New actually jumped in, almost caught.
He better not die. Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, there's all the advantage you just got by killing Bat Rider.
Yeah, unfortunate. He was on a completely different side of the map from his teammates. And okay, as long as you're taking these small little skirmishes, you don't really want to fight into the Aegis anyway, right? So 1 or 2 deaths isn't going to change your game plan completely. You're only 6k behind, but the problem is this next fight. Alchemist is going to have an Abyssal Blade, most likely. And that will be difficult for Sven to deal with. You'll actually have to control the Alchemist.
Even without the Aegis, do they... Okay, let's assume he has Aegis, right? Firstly, can they kill him twice? And if he doesn't have Aegis, can they kill him once if he has BKB, AC, a Basher now with the Abyssal, and the backup of Kaka?
I think he's killable. Even with all of that, I think he's killable. Like, you have a Sven with crit getting towards Silver Edge and 70 gold. You also have Ice Blast, obviously, the most important part of it. JT, oof.
He's fine. Just popping some smokes. They can't find the angle of attack for the side of PSG.LGD. So they will just have to stay back, wait for another opportunity. On the bright side, though, they did not end up losing any of their tier 2s in the mid or top lane, and they still have access to their high ground. So the game is rough, but it's not insurmountable where it stands right now.
I don't think it's like that hard at all for them. 8k behind, but sure, you have this Magnus who's almost completed a Harpoon. Well, getting closer to it, at least 300 gold away. Sven as well, with Silver Edge. It's all about the execution, really. Like, you're 9k ahead, but 9k behind, but remember, it's an Alchemist team, right? It's like an Alchemist lineup, so... It's not as bad as it looks, like you said. They are trying to make it a little bit worse, though, with the smoke. There's an Abyssal completed on Alchemist, so this could be the difference-making fight.
Sadly for them, though, it ends up being shipped through the night and they find nothing. LGD even drop a Kobold into the Roshan pit just in case. And they're gonna smoke again. So smoke on smoke on smoke. I think this game might have broken a record for the most smokes I've seen in one game.
I think
Because
yeah,
like this series has been crazy.
it's extremely close. This game is very close, and it all really comes down to the initiation, and they might see paparazzi.
They do not get a clean angle onto him. They do get a clean angle onto DY, though. They find the duel. Where's Kaka? There's going to be the cold embrace. No Winter's Curse just yet, but they skewer
Sven.
back DY further away from his team. And where's the Sven at? Shiro, we need you, my friend, but he's lassoed up right now, finding 1v1 versus Ghost. Ice Blast will zone, but goes back a bit. And there's going to be the Winter's Curse, while Shiro will beat down his own friend. He really wanted to kill, nothing to say, but oh my goodness, paparazzi survives with 80 health. 80 actual health. He survives that fight.
That crit cleave on Sven, that was something different. Why you smile? He will fall in the end here. They will chase him down most likely. Yeah.
Okay, XG, they win that fight, but we do start to see some shades of what could be possible from PSG.LGD. 5.3k damage dealt by him alone on Shiro.
I feel like they have this one big problem, that's Kaka. Like, you need to find a way to eliminate the Wyvern, because the curse is way too hard to deal with. Like, you can't... Basically, you have 3 cores, and all 3 cores are melee, right? So you want to be jumping the same target to eliminate it, to kill it. But you can't because of the curse. So you...
Speaking of, okay, intriguing fight happening here. There was a lasso in one direction, a skewer in the other. For a second, it looked like JT had Aghanim Scepter, but it was just NTS skewering him while he lassoed Planet.
He actually helped Planet, right? Like, he helped them all. He lassoed the Kotl, and then the skewer just saved Planet. He pulled him away from everyone else.
No way. They're actually going bottom. Potentially looking to contest a Roshan here. He's not going to be up for another 90 seconds. But they could potentially get him. This can't happen twice in a day, Lizard. We can't have like all the games being this close. But it feels like it might happen again, that we have a massive fight at Roche that turns everything around.
We will. Bet is dead for 20 more, but he's got travels too. If a fight breaks out here, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he uses that buyback.
Probably telling his team right now, please, for the love of God, don't jump anybody. I don't want to buy back. I want to keep the money. And you will be allowed to respawn normally. So now the question is, Liz, do they just stick around for LGD until the Roshan is up? Is it going to be that important for the next stage of the game to force a fight here for them?
Let's see. I think it is important. I think you should be taking this fight because you have a lot of big ultis, like a lot of cooldowns, and if they get that Aegis once again on Alchemist, and they will be pushing your high ground much, much easier. Like, one great thing that they do have on LGD, obviously, is this Harpoon, Blink, Magnus. And the melee cores, they find it kind of difficult to push high ground into that. But that's still far away.
Well, we'll see how this comes into play here, because all 10 heroes are gathered around the area looking for a fight.
I love this game of positioning, really. And both teams should know, yeah. One with Ice Vortex, the other with the Illusion. Both teams know that Rosh has respawned. Are there some big items coming out? Let's see. Ghost has Overwhelming Blink. Paparazzi has Lincoln's completed now too.
Ooh. I don't think they've seen Paparazzi. If he can get them to duel him, that would be huge if he can soak up the duel like that. It's very scary though. What does Ghost have for himself? Ghost just bought an Overwhelming Blink. So he is pretty getting close to maxed out on the Alchemist. And nobody wants to go in first. We're gonna find a skewer back. They bring in Paparazzi. The Lincolns won't be there to protect him this time around. Ice Blast comes out as well. Papa does survive, getting back with his squad, but almost got brought down. And he will now pop. Ice Blast connected flush, and he does not have buyback. He bought out for the full Lincolns. Ghost triggering up the stun. This could be a disaster. Ghost self-stuns, but they do not have vision. If they had vision of this Alchemist right now, this would have been even worse. But they're going inside the Roshan pit. JT throws in a flame break. You see nothing to say, covering all the angles, trying to skewer some random heroes into the rest of the lineup. And here comes Ghost. He jumps in, finds the stun onto Wiley Smile. There will be a press the attack. Dispel it immediately. Still a 4v5 affair. Roshan, half HP. Satanic just arrived for the Sven. Can they do anything about this? Kaka thinking about it, has the blink with the Winter's Curse still on cooldown, however. So he can't go in. They can't stop this from happening. And Shiro will take the Aegis. Can they take the fight is the question. And the answer is no. They'll just be content with the prize they've already snagged. I say that, but DY walks on the low ground and becomes a welcome snack for LGD. They'll claim his life, they claim the area, and they can just walk away happily.
Yeah, nice little skewer play there in the end by Magnus. I'm surprised that they had... I'm not surprised that they had discipline. I'm just surprised that they didn't chase them after taking that rush a little bit harder, you know, as teams usually do. But, yeah, nice fight. The problem was, of course, Void Spirit died. That duel was fantastic. They broke the Lincolns and dueled him and used Ice Blast on him. And but the biggest issue for Xtreme was they used Winter's Curse. And that Winter's Curse just wasn't there in the pit to prevent Rush from falling. Like, if Kaka has Winter's Curse, you can't just go into the pit. You're just too damn vulnerable to him.
Well, he has it now. We'll see what they can do with it. Ghost, yet again, self-stuns himself. Game has been rough for him the last 2 minutes. Okay, it's only a 2k gold lead now in favor of Xtreme Gaming. The Magnus and the Sven are both obscenely farmed on their lineup. It's only really the LC that's struggling for net worth. But even then, as long as she can get to BKB and dual targets, then her role in the game is complete.
Yeah, it's more about the disable really than the damage, right? You get a little bit of utility for your teammates, and you get that disable on one target. You're happy.
So now the question is, what do you do next on Xtreme Gaming? You see this game is sliding away from you a little bit. There's a bunch of items streaming in for PSG.LGD that makes their fighting life easier. At what point do they try to force it? And also, how worried are they about scaling into the later portions of the game?
You should be a little bit more worried, I would say, right? Because Alchemist tends to fall off a little bit. Like, you can see that he's already more or less maxed out. He can get something instead of the boots, obviously, but he didn't. He went for the overwhelming blink, so even that's not possible. Meanwhile, on the other hand, you have these 3 heroes, 3 cores that scale really damn well. But let's see, Magnus mid.
Yes, indeed. Kaka getting out some vision, thinking about starting off this fight. And look at the Sven jumping in, but Sven gets lassoed back by this Bat Rider. He's very far from his team. Abyssal Blade on top of him by Ghost. Shiro, he can't get away from this, and he will die. First life committed. Winter Wyvern did have to buy back here. In the meantime, Ancient Apparition falling very low. RP committed by Nothing to Say on top of this Alchemist, but he's still so tanky that he should still be able to live here. We see Nothing to Say, trying to get away with the Force Off. Doesn't go high enough, so will just be killed off by Ghost. Mega kill streak for the Alchemist here.
We had one buyback, and that's from the Winter Wyvern. And yeah, if you're XG, you're super happy with how that fight went. I think LGD initiating with the Sven just isn't perhaps the best idea unless you can really blow up the target. And you saw what happened. Even if you do blow the target up, Lasso
onto LC, she gets dragged back in. She should die here.
Why you smile?
And Why you smile thought about going in, but now realizes he might be actually too far extended. Flame Break pushes him back towards the rest of the lineup. Ghost beats him down and Ghost kills him off. Unstoppable streak for the Alchemist. More kills for XG, and that's a tier 2 tower as well now, Liz.
Yeah, a lot of these kills being fed XG's way. Maybe they can push high ground even. Let's see. They don't have the Bat Rider with them, but he does have those travels too. In 10 seconds, he will be able to connect.
Holy smokes. In this position right now, can you imagine how happy you must be as LGD that you first pick Coddle? Right now, you're just like, thank God. Otherwise, we would have been screwed at the moment.
At least you have something to defend with, but it truly does come down. Like, this game comes down to the execution. You're 6k ahead on XG. You got a couple of kills, sure, but the lead isn't that huge. One of the issues that they have is this Sven is being controlled by Bat. That last fight, he jumps in on the Wyvern, and then he just gets zoned completely away from his teammates.
Is anybody on the team buying a Lincoln Sphere? We have one on the Magnus.
Yeah, they're using it on him already. It just isn't enough. There are 4 staffs and stuff. They can break it. I think the main point is how you initiate, who goes in first.
They'll have an opportunity to test that out right now because XG are positioned on the Radiant Triangle, sort of daring PSG.LGD to come up the high ground. Have an observer ward plopped down as well, so DY ready to defend this area. How do LGD approach here? They do approach by just blinking headlong there. NCS does have the skewer back onto the low ground. And XG, they don't react fast enough to catch him out. I thought Kaka was just going to blink Winter's Curse him, but decides not to.
Saves it for perhaps that moment that's more clutch, right? When they're jumping you and you're breaking the fight in half. I feel like it always feels better when you do it as Wyvern in those situations. But yeah, like right now it looks like LGD a little bit stuck, even though they don't feel like they're losing the game. 7k behind is nothing against an Alk. They don't have enough vision, and I think that's what's hurting them the most.
They will throw some bodies on the line to try and recover this position on the high ground. They don't have a... Do they have a gem? They do, at the very least. Yeah. So Planet can get some vision back for them that way.
He's got a gem, he's got a hex, he's got a vessel, he's got it all. Like, this guy, anything you need, he's got it. They should smoke probably, right? Yep.
Yeah. But they're deciding to hold off on it a little bit. I don't know if there's an item coming in or if they're afraid they've already been scouted. Either way, they're not smoked up, but they're nonchalantly walking around this area of the map. I think they're resolute in ensuring they get the next Aegis as well for themselves.
It's not going to respawn that quickly, so another fight is probably necessary before that happens. And by the time they decide to smoke and make a move, Alchemist still farming, still getting more and more farm, and extending that lead. He's going to get an Aghanims next. At the same time, there's, I believe, a full Lincoln's now completed on Kaka. So he can either pop that on Alchemist or someone he knows is going to get dueled, or keep it for himself.
I love Kaka's build. He's going for Aeon Disc next. Once he gets that Aeon Disc, then he can be very happy to just keep throwing out that Lincoln Sphere, knowing his own life is protected. Just playing so well, honestly. Kaka, God, man. What a player.
Get some luck with neutrals as well. Gets the ninja gear.
Nice.
Good luck finding the Winter Wyvern in fights now. And as I say that...
He's about to die. Oh, and he gets a haste too. No, don't come back. Don't come back. No, Kaka.
The blink.
Run. What a player, though. He blinks, he glimmercapes. He is all right, man. He just wanted to show off a little bit. That's all.
Yeah. That was it. He broke their smoke as well, which is so important. Like, he prevented that move from connecting.
It could set up a move of their own, as he's gathered with 4 heroes down bottom. Bad Riders coming in towards them, and yeah, it looks like they're going to go on a bit of a long ramp. Oh no, Shiro. Dude, Shiro almost walked into a creep wave, but he got pinged back. I don't know who on the team had the game sense that this was a bad place to be, but whoever it was is a legend and a god. DY got skewered back, but they've already found Why You Smile. Killed him off. Winter's Curse. It holds both Nothing to Say and New. Oh no. Blast off stuns them both together. BKB pop. He's trying to run away on NCS, but he can't do it. New has BKB blade mail that he dies regardless. Shiro is now all alone. He's on the cliff, again. Oh my god. 2 times in a game, he dies off in the same fashion. Planet won't be allowed to TP out either. Massive fight for Xtreme Gaming.
I know a certain NA player that would be proud right now. But yeah, really nicely done by XG. And Kaka, I said it in the draft, I feel the same way. He's just winning this game. Cold Embrace on Techies, Winter's Curse on Legion and Magnus to have them play with each other while everyone else is kiting out the Sven. The Sven turns to at least try to finish off the Techies, but he gets just Cold Embraced. This Wyvern needs to die first. They need to find a way to kill him off. But it's so much easier said than done.
They don't have a Void Spirit or a Storm Spirit. Any of these heroes that can just pierce the backlines. They are stuck playing this game very honestly from the side of PSG.LGD. Unfortunately, Dota is not a game that rewards honest play. Gotta be a bit cheeky. And so far, XG benefiting from that. Kaka's winning fight, and I bet if you look at their perspective, they don't even see Kaka. They just see these random spells happening, and they're just like, what am I supposed to do about this?
Yeah, he doesn't have as much spell range anymore, cast range. He had the neutral for it before, now he switched it out, put in Ninja Gear, but Ninja Gear is even better. You don't need that much range if you're constantly in smoke.
Oh boy. Full lane of racks down bottom, a melee through middle. It's only top that they can play around. And unfortunately, you know, you were mentioning earlier about how this Alchemist is approaching the level where he's fully maxed out. Regrettably, Sven doesn't actually have that much room to grow himself. He can upgrade Blink, get a eat the Moonshot and get a +1. But that's about it.
Yeah, they're very similar when it comes to that. It's just that Alchemist is 13k ahead. 12k ahead.
Alchemist might find his lead expanding. We see now another duel that's going to be immediately absorbed by the Cold Embrace. New gets bashed up by a Ghost, and they should be able to kill off this Legion commander. She's trying to run, but she cannot. The person she dueled is the one that sets her up for her death, and now Shiro getting lassoed in by JT, and Shiro is dead. He buys back immediately, however.
Oh, did you see what happened? That was like the craziest thing ever. So basically Sven was running through the river and there was just a remnant. I don't think he even saw it. There was a remnant exactly there pulling him up the cliff. Pulled him up the cliff basically in a Bat Rider's arms. And then Bat lassos him as well. Like, super unfortunate for Shiro. And even with the buyback, they can't really do anything. This is... Yeah, this game went from 7k lead for the side of XG into a 35k lead in the span of 2 team fights.
Lizard, are our 2 undefeated teams about to get beaten back-to-back on the same day?
It seems that way, yeah. Like,
oh, God.
Tiebreakers galore coming up.
Well, in the calendar year of 2023, every region except China found themselves with at least one team going 7-0. Looks like we're going to be denied that happening for yet another season because LGD, 40k net worth behind Xtreme Gaming. They're corralled inside their base. Yeah. They're just not progressing in net worth and items.
Yeah, maybe some crazy play in which Magnus RPs, multiple heroes pushing high ground. By the way, you told me Sven has no more room to grow. This man could grow quite a bit. Like, you have Echo Saber, you have Moonshard. There are some things that you could replace those items with, but he's just not finding the farm. He's not there yet.
What sucks is that the way the game is going, I think, at least for now, you kind of need Echo Saber. I don't think he has enough attack speed without it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. They're kiting him heavily as well.
Really struggling to make his presence known in these fights. They know he can dish out mass amounts of damage, but are denying him the opportunity to do so. One more lane of Rax Liz, and then it's done, it's over. They at least have Mega Creeps. The game can still continue. Also, we are getting to 25 levels now. We have quite a few in this game. Do any of them stand out as being potentially game-breaking talents?
Well, Sven got his 50 bonus strength gain. God strength. You get Alchemist, more movement speed. You can drop your boots finally as Alch and play without them. Which is nice, right? Yeah. Bat Rider as well. Seems pretty solid. On the other side, it's only one, right? It's just the Sven that got it. Everyone else is quite far away.
Sven, though, did also just pick up a Lincoln Sphere, so that means that he is playing right now without buyback. Well, it is on cooldown anyway, so it doesn't matter if he dies or not.
Why is Void Spirit keeping his? Like, he didn't skill up 25 talent.
Oh.
Does he have the point? He does, right?
He does, yeah. That's actually very interesting. I'm not sure.
Dire are scanning.
Maybe he forgot. He's like, I've already got all my other stuff. I mean, these things happen, right? There's a lot to keep track of in the game of Dota 2.
I feel like he took an attribute. Am I correct? Maybe maybe my math
He's
is
maxed
wrong.
on attributes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, he took one. Yeah, he did take one. Okay. Because then, yeah, at max level, he'll have everything. Here we go. Might be the last fight of the game. There's a Dagon available, just picked up by the Ancient Apparition. They realize they need some damage output. Shiro, he's the one that's dangling, but he does manage to blink back first. This is such a stressful game to be playing as Shiro because he also knows that kind of LC and Magnus need to counter-initiate. Ancient Apparition and Coddle die if you just look at them. So there's nobody else who can actually do what he's doing right now, which is so scary given how important he is for the game.
Yeah, he wants to be doing it, but he doesn't have buyback, so... Yeah, he does have the gold, it's just still on cooldown. He'd really love this game to continue for a couple of extra minutes so that he can throw his life the way he did before.
Yeah. You know how many minutes he has to wait? It's not just, 3 minutes, it's long. It's not the longest. When I say 200 seconds, you're like, yo, that's a long time. So let's see if they can defend Lizard for 200 seconds on the side of PSG.LGD.
I'm not sure they can. At least not when it comes to Megas.
XG though, their creep wave has been mopped up, so they're waiting for the next one. They're not going to take any risks when it comes to this push. LGD ensuring that they have the backdoor protection. They push back Ghost, and they were looking for the skewer back. NCS, he doesn't find him though. So, at least they put a little bit of fear on the side of XG, but they would have wanted more out of that because they popped God's strength.
Yeah. They want to fight. This Aegis is running out in 2 seconds, so it's...
Does get reclaimed.
Yeah.
But even without the Aegis, dude, this guy has 4.2k HP, 30 armor. He can still do exactly what he's been doing without the Aegis.
And they have this ward, it's just scouting them out. They're still not dewarding it.
They will not be able to deward it, and they will just get megaed. And Xtreme Gaming get forced forward again onto Ghost. The Alchemist,
that's
they
cool.
could have jumped him.
Yeah, that's cool. They're really trying hard to get him as close to the fountain as... not good enough. I was thinking maybe Hex Force, then Harpoon and skewer him all the way back into the fountain. Like, it's possible. Is this going to win you the game? And can you rely on this strat to win? Probably damn not, but it keeps things interesting, It's still fun. 11k gold on Alchemist. But go buy some Aghanims, man. What are you doing? Buy some people. Get your teammates some Ag Scepters.
No, he can't. Dude, he's saving to buy Bitcoin. He needs all the money.
Okay, he's investing. When the market crashes, I see. He's waiting.
Yeah. Well, the market's already been crashing. He's waiting to buy the dip. He wants to see when it flatlines. Then he's like, yes, I'm gonna buy on the dip.
Let's see.
Right now, they're full megas. Feels good. And can LGD ever leave their base again in this game? Unless they wipe the entirety of XG.
I feel like they do push out megas very easily. Like, you have Swan, you have Mag, right? It's not that difficult. But just looking at these heroes, they're way too poor. They're 50k behind. I'm sorry, but this game is feeling very over. Bat is in.
Bat's in, finds the last two onto Ancient Apparition. And they also get a Winter's Curse onto New with Shiro right next to him. And they're going to try and jump on him. New will be the one finished off first. Shiro pop God Strength and BKB, but he's just getting chain bashed by Ghost. He is fighting back with the Satanic quite well, though. And Ghost is surprisingly strong. The RP will come out, catches the Alchemist in the middle of the space. He's still alive for now. RP not going to be available just yet again for NTS. And they found a very nice duel, a very nice skewer. but they don't have the control and they don't have the damage. NTS will die now. He buys back. Shiro, though, only has buyback again in 5 seconds. He'll definitely use it when it comes. They don't have an ancient apparition for a lot longer. So how on earth do they hold here? RP not available for 90 seconds. They're trying to skewer back. DY buyback eventually coming in from the Sven, but it's too late. They've lost the tier 4 tower. They're coming in for the rest of the game here as they're being jumped in this way and that. JT finds the 2-hero lasso, setting up for his team to finish off the Sven. And as Shiro dies, GG is called, and Xtreme Gaming stay in contention to go to the Bali Major. They end the dreams of a lossless streak from LGD, and they put themselves ahead in the rival.